right, episode 139 is here.
139.
139er. Niner? Did I hear a niner?
139er.
In there?
139.
We've done 139 of these. Have you ever gone back and listened to a single one of these?
Not one.
Not once. You live it, you experience it,
I live it,
and then you move on.
I live on this side of the microphone.
You know?
And
Who's the number one podcast? It's Joe Rogan. It's the number one podcaster, right? Is he the number one in the world or whatever? Or he's up there. Whatever.
I think so. He's got. I mean, yeah, he's got to be.
Does he ever go back and listen to it? He does a daily podcast, I think, right?
I think he does, and it's long. I mean, I think it's pretty long. It's a couple hours.
Let's just call it talk radio.
Well, right. So that's what.
I mean, he doesn't go back and listen to his podcasts every day.
No.
I mean, he does his spiel and then moves on.
No,
so
I'm sure he has a team that does and gives him notes and things.
I have gone back and listened to one, maybe two of these things.
Really?
Yeah.
Was all you could bear?
No, one of them, I think, my wife wanted to listen with me, I think, or something like that. Or, there was a reason why we were listening to, and then one of them, I think, when we first started, it was morbid curiosity of
what do I sound like?
Exactly. Yeah. Do I sound like what I think I sound like? And as all of us know, we don't. We don't sound like that at all.
We don't.
But in like that, like do I say ums? What do I, that type of thing? Just the vanity of listening to your own.
I don't want to. I don't want to look in that mirror.
You don't want to ruin it, huh?
I don't want to look in that mirror.
I'm okay with that. All right. Speaking of saying
I listen to Howard Stern, as you know, all the time. Speaking of talk radio and podcasts, and that's like his whole thing. Is he hates podcasts? He's just mad. He's so mad at everything. He's just mad that podcasting is.
How old is he now? Is he? He's not in his 70s.
Yeah,
he's in his 70s. Okay,
yeah.
3 days a week he does, right?
He does Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay, and then it's best of and greatest hits and
but then there's also the
the guy's been doing this shit since like the 80s.
There's the Howard Stern wrap up show. So there's an after show. There's all kinds of ancillary.
Okay. Yeah. He's got a library. They fill the hours.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But I think his contract is up. Maybe I think it might be in this year in December.
Sooner than later, basically. And then what?
And I think this will be it.
But there's no other. There's only one satellite radio. Like there used to be two, and now there's only one. It's Sirius XM. They merged, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is there anything else on? I mean, obviously they have other shows. They have music. They have
on what? Sirius, yeah.
I mean,
that's all I listen to.
They have hundreds of channels. Right?
Hundreds of channels.
Yeah. But he wouldn't go. It's probably he either stays with them or he's done. Right, and there's no like
he's not going anywhere else.
Starting my own.
He left terrestrial radio to and banked on satellite and won.
And now he hates podcasts.
Yeah, just because he's like everybody can do that. He's like, and they all have amazing guests now, and I mean he's a crotchety old man. Yeah, he's like, I started this, damn it,
Yeah, that's funny.
So I think he'll be done. Well, I don't think he'll.
Robin is still on the show. Okay. All right, and then all the Baba Booey, okay, the whole deal, yeah.
Oh yeah,
my buddy David probably still listens to Howard.
I'm sure Dave.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. Yeah, it's right up his alley.
Oh yeah, for sure. Filth.
It's filth juxtaposed with interviews with the president.
Well, he is arguably the greatest interviewer ever, right? I mean, he's phenomenal.
He's absolutely phenomenal. And he, I mean, it's not telling the world what they don't know, but he was an awful person. And he totally had this just like through years of therapy and whatever else, like totally just sort of changed his
outlook, his demeanor, his
persona, and his just whole like
fascinating.
I mean, he was fart man.
Yeah.
I mean, he still does disgusting things.
Yeah. He did that at he was like in full character at like the VMAs.
I think it was the video.
Yeah.
And he was like assless chaps.
Yeah.
Lowered from the ceiling.
Yeah. The last thing I know you celebrate his daily occurrence. I think the last thing I saw was the, is it HBO? When he did the Springsteen thing, he did the televised, that was incredible.
It was an amazing interview. Yeah, they sold it to HBO.
And I'm not even a big Springsteen guy. I mean, I definitely recognize.
Yeah, you appreciate him, but you're not
mad
a big
respect for the whole thing. But like, I'm not rocking the Springsteen albums every other day. But it's still a very captivating, interesting, thoughtful, dynamic interview.
Well, he'll be like
just like our podcast.
What it is. What's great about I think his interview style is he'll ask a question like, okay, Bruce, talk to me about the song Rosalita and when you wrote Rosalita, and then Bruce will say something like, oh, well, it started on the piano. I actually wrote the melody on the piano, and he'll be like, okay, where were you? Which piano? Where were you sitting?
Yeah.
What did you? And he'll just go down that, and it's just very specific, interesting
Yeah.
questions. He's really good at it.
Yeah, it's not just the story; it's the full color narrative.
You get,
of the whole deal.
he's really good at getting people to, and I mean that's his whole thing is he gets people to be vulnerable.
Yeah,
and
he's
open
like
up.
Barbara Streisand now. He makes people cry. Wasn't that the thing? Wasn't
Barbara
that her
Walters?
deal? Barbara Walters, not
I mean,
Barbara
Streisand
Streisand.
makes some people cry too.
That's true. That's true.
But-
yes.
but Barbara Walters.
I know.
Yeah.
Why did I think Streisand? I don't know, because of Barbara. That's why.
I don't know.
Barbara Bush. Any more other Barbaras? There's lots of Barbaras out there.
There's lots of
Barbara
Barbaras.
Gordon. You know,
Barbara Cochran.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm the end of my Barbaras now.
Yeah.
Speaking of Barbaras, though, actually, I don't know how to segue at all.
Barbara Bush, Anheuser-Busch, family-owned company.
There you go. Dun-dun-dun. Yes, today's topic we were going to chat about was working with family-owned companies.
Yeah.
Right? Of which I don't think a lot of people really think about it or realize it, but the vast majority of companies that power the economy and everything are family-owned companies.
They are.
You know, Anheuser-Busch now, they recently sold to the
Right.
Belgians, but like Bush is a family-owned, Budweiser, that whole thing. I mean, we think Ford to this day is still technically a family-owned company, even though they got tens of thousands of employees, you know. So family-owned companies probably more prevalent than you realize, but working with family-owned companies presents their own interesting set of challenges and dynamics. And we have a bunch of family-owned companies.
Yeah. We work with a bunch of them, and one just popped into my head. Interesting local family-owned company is Orkin,
Okay.
and Orkin is massive.
Yeah, huge.
And they are owned by the Rollins family.
Yep.
Very prominent family here, based here in Atlanta. I mean, companies worth billions upon billions of dollars.
Absolutely.
And this is sort of the extreme example, but it didn't go so well. You had the crazy uncle doing this, and the dad and the grandfather and the thing. They all ended up suing each other.
Yeah.
And there's an amazing article, if you get around to it, in Forbes magazine about them and their family dynamic.
Yeah,
And
shocker.
everyone's suing everybody.
Yeah,
and-
add a bunch of money into a family dynamic, you know, of everybody.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, resentment galore, right?
What could go
just,
wrong?
you know, so, but actually our very first client we ever had when I went off on my own was a family owned company.
Yeah.
You know,
we did some good work for them too.
yeah, worked with them for a number of years.
Yep.
And then,
Nice family.
great family,
Nice family.
great family. And worked with, you know, the father who started the company, and then, you know, his two kids obviously ended up sort of running part of the ship as well, and then they ended up selling, of course, because he wanted to retire and all that good stuff. But you know, it's interesting in regards to you kind of one of the benefits obviously is leapfrogging basically everybody in the way and just going straight to the sole decision maker. Right. Whether they're qualified to make those decisions or not. I mean, when it's a family-owned company, a lot of times the president is the guy who started the company.
You got a
and
direct line to over at the dinner table.
Yeah, exactly. We're going out to dinner. We're talking about this, that, and whatever, you know. And it's like it doesn't really matter what anybody else's title is. I mean, it's straight to, you know, the decision maker. And the challenges there obviously are, you know, subjectivity as it relates to potentially strategic messaging or positioning. You know, I don't like it. You know, that type of.
Well, it's,
you know,
it's
I love this, or I got, you know, it's this weird dynamic sometimes.
It does. I mean, it does. To what extent does work life bleed over into personal life, and personal resentments bleed into the workplace? And
it's all together.
It's all together.
Yeah.
It's one big, sometimes happy family.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a big happy mess too, you know. But I think that, you know, there is an interesting advantage potentially of working with family-owned companies and having those great relationships, right? Where you can cut through the clutter, and it's kind of entrepreneur to entrepreneur able to make some risky decisions, you know, strategically risky decisions. Not like, hey, let's just go crazy for crazy's sake, but, you know, let's be a little bit different than everybody else, right? Let's not do what everybody else is doing, because we didn't start our company doing what everybody else is doing. Like, let's, you know, so there's some fun opportunities there to really push the envelope in regards to design, in regards to narrative, you know? And I'd say, how long have we worked with those guys? I mean, I want to say,
It's a long time.
13 years?
Good 13, 15 years, something like that. I mean, it's a long time.
Did
It's a long time.
ton of awesome work with them over the years, really helped. You know, and like work you can be proud of, and they're proud of, and they're excited about it, which is super cool. It's not just the churn and burn of just, oh, it's another ad for XYZ, whatever's, you know? So,
well, and also from an agency standpoint too, depending on the company, how big it is, who you're working with, all that kind of good stuff, it can be a tremendous benefit because you're a little bit more secure with your agency relationship. Again, depending on who you're working with over there. And especially if they start a little bit smaller and then you grow with them.
Grow together.
You're kind of, dare I say, grandfathered in to a degree. But speaking about positioning, we've got another, there's another company that we work with, local company here in Atlanta. They're actually a chemical manufacturing company. I can say that. And they are on their third generation.
This is their third?
Yeah, third 1947.
Wow.
Founded in 1947.
That's exciting.
And we've worked with them for, 20 years, 20-something
Forever.
years. Yeah. I mean, and there's been, peaks and valleys with the amount of work, depending on what they were doing. But, the current president of the company is 94 years old and still going into work every single day, if you can believe it.
I will not be coming in here every day when I'm 94 years old. That is a promise I can make to every listener. I can't wait to be 94. Actually, I can totally wait to be 94.
Yeah.
But when I'm 94 years old, I'm not going to be in here doodling ads.
No.
Not going to happen.
No.
And I have to imagine you're not going to be either.
Unless something's gone horribly wrong, I don't plan. It's not exactly in my plan.
Yeah.
But the guy still comes in, and it's, again, that's obviously of a different generation where work is kind of everything. And especially if it's your family-owned company, I think that they probably, there's a tendency for longevity, right?
Yeah.
In that type of situation.
Yeah.
But, and so his son is now CEO and running the company as well. And, it's interesting for them. They're a very sales-driven organization and always have been. And so in a lot of the marketing efforts, we're actually working on a project for them right now. It's a sales recruitment kit.
Yeah.
And the positioning is very much lead with, we are a family-owned company.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we will treat you like family, and we are your work family, but we're your family. And it's all very, very family-focused in their positioning.
Isn't their jam like this is the last job you'll ever need or something like that, right? It's kind of...
Yeah, they kind of lean into the fact that a lot of their sales force has been there, forever. The oil paintings on the wall, right? Yeah. 40 years and longer.
I love that, man. I think that's cool.
It's great.
Yeah.
And there's a reason that people... They back it up. Let's just say that. There's a reason that people stay there forever because they are, and we've done interviews with them and interviews with some of the longer tenured sales folks, and that comes up. They'll tell a story about, when I didn't have enough money for a car when I first started, they helped me out with that, and so there's all these great stories. But to your point, it's a unique way to position, either internally to try and help sell. I don't know that the consumers care as much that it's a family-owned company. Maybe they do.
Well, I think that regardless of what they do or what we do, chemical manufacturing or advertising, there is definitely something to be said for every industry being a trust-based relationship business, right?
That's right.
And so I know who to call, I know who to email, which is the opposite of Xfinity. Right. Or AT&T
I can't call anyone.
Like every time I call Bank of America, like it is what it is. It's a function of the process of these giant Goliath, whatever, versus, hey, you can still have a family owned company like Ford or like these guys or whatever. And you could have thousands of employees, but still very much be a family owned relationship, trust based business.
Yeah.
And I think as a recruitment tool, I think it's good to get out ahead of that in front of things to be like, hey, this is who we are. This is how we are. That way you're kind of weeding out the people that wouldn't fit in. Do you know what I mean? That's like, I just want to fast track. I just want to launch point. I just want to go here and then move there. And well, that's not what they're looking for. That's not who they want to be. That's not who they are. Right. So if you're just blatantly honest about authenticity of the vibe right from the get-go, that's going to work well internally, but I think it's going to work well externally as well.
Yep.
So I would like to think that it matters to their clients. You know what I mean?
Oh, I think so too, because it is all relationship-based. You're right. Business agnostic.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's dollars and cents and profitability and you know what I mean? It is a transactional relationship, just like we are too. But, there is something to be said for, hey, even though we're big, I think family-owned company doesn't seem like, it's a mom and pop shop. And
No.
you know what I mean? Like it could still, I don't know. I mean, even SC Johnson Wax, right? Their whole thing was like a family. Yeah, that whole vibe,
Yeah.
versus, Unilever, like that type of thing, right? So,
I wonder what it's got to be. Just coming at it from a completely different angle. If you are a family-owned company, and imagine you're the third generation, or the fourth generation, or fifth, or whatever it is, there's got to be a lot of pressure to keep that legacy going.
yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, and it seems oftentimes that the pathway is, I'm generalizing, but in high school, I worked in the back in the plant or the warehouse or whatever for a couple years.
Yeah.
And then I graduated and went out and did my own thing for 3 or 4 years and, gained experience out from under the umbrella of the family-owned company. And then, once I gained sort of valuable, perspective from outside of it, then I maybe came back and rejoined.
Yeah, we have another client up in South Carolina, the plastic caps and bottle manufacturers, stuff like that. And that's their trajectory was, I'm absolutely never working for my dad.
Right.
And then it was like, okay, well, it's like, okay, well, hey, I'm going back to I'm going to help my dad run the shit, and then I'm going to take over, and I'm going to keep it in the family, blah, 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 all the good stuff, So, I mean, that's an admirable thing as well.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, we've talked about it on the podcast before. I'm the son of an entrepreneur who's the son of an entrepreneur. There was 0.0% chance I was ever going to take over my dad's business.
Right.
And my grandparents thought for sure that my dad was going to take over. Absolutely did not happen.
Right. Right.
They had 2 sons, and neither one of them wanted to take over that business. It's just, you got to kind of do, but so I don't know. I kind of lean into it's that entrepreneurial spirit, that kind of runs through, the side of the family. But there is definitely something to be said for, started a business, started a family-owned company, and then, there is no, I mean, that's where private equity and family funds and all these different things come in.
There's
right?
no
It's
one,
like, I'm 60 years old now. My kids don't want anything to do with my business.
Right.
What do I do with this thing?
Right.
So, I mean, Rob, what are we going to do with this business? I mean, there's always those questions, but I think, working with, I think it's fun, man. I think it's fun having family-owned businesses. I mean, is it frustrating? Sure. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, whatever. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the variety that we have of like, startup that comes out of Georgia Tech, medical device, something, you know what I mean? Gigantosaurus, Fortune 5 companies that we work with, family-owned, you know what I mean? They all present different challenges, right? But it is kind of fun to, I think, integrate and work with family-owned businesses, So.
Yeah,
I mean,
do too.
I say that also not being in the shoes of like, my dad and the relationship and my sister or my this or, you know what I mean? Like there's no family dynamic in regards to like, I'm taking over my dad's fighting me. I want to modernize this. And he doesn't want to do, we don't have to deal with any of that kind of stuff, you know? So, it's weird. It's kind
Family owned.
Kind of fun to think about. So
Family owned and operated. The last little anecdote, I'm going back to the Rollins family and the Orkin situation. It's not just Orkin; they own Rollins Trucking and all the other things. Anyway, one of the ways the company was structured was that there was, and this is all in the Forbes article, was that the kids had to, in order to get money and unlock the trusts, they had to. I don't remember how they phrased it, but it was this ambiguous. They had to maintain fruitful pursuits.
Okay.
It was something like that. It was this crazy ambiguous language. It was basically you can't just sit on your ass clause.
Okay.
Like you have to be actively
you have to be a person
doing something. And, and so that was part of the problem was that it was this ambiguous.
It sounds like the Fox News dilemma.
Fox. It's an amazing story.
Succession, that whole deal, right?
Yeah, it's the whole thing.
I put everything in the trust, and now I want to get out of it, and I don't want to do this and the thing.
It is Succession salacious. You should read the article. So then they sued because I'm doing fruitful endeavors because I'm doing this and that and this and that, and that's it's crazy.
Yeah.
So the goods and bads of family business.
Yeah,
that's really it.
Do you have a family-owned business that needs advertising and design? If so, no. All right, I guess that wraps it up for the day. It's it's a weird little kind of subsection of business, but I think it's it's prevalent and all around us. We don't never even really think about it, But working with the principles of organizations is always interesting and fun, and those challenges therein. So, where can those principles and interesting people find us, Mr. Rob?
Well, we've got a family of social social pages. Anyway, yes, of course you can find us at mocktheagency.com or anywhere on the socials. We're not hard to find.
All right, we'll chat with you next time.
Bye.